Y'all see that lady crashing out on CNN? Talking about it means something to be an American? Do you see now why I say that this idea of leaving MAGA, I don't think that really exists? Because these people absolutely believe in what he stands for. And what he stands for is the reclaiming of power, the reclaiming of supremacy by white America. That's what the emotion is all about. That's why she feels so strongly about saying what she's saying. The conversation that they're having is about whether or not a judge who was appointed by Trump is allowed to deem him using the Alien and Enemies Act, a wartime power in non-wartime, deem it lawful. The conversation they're having is whether or not he is exceeding his authority as the president by doing what he's doing and deporting, now we know, many American citizens. But once again, like I've said, the rule of law, they don't care about that. Equality and human rights, they don't care about that. The words in the Constitution that says every person in this country has a right to due process, they don't care about that. What they care about is supremacy. What they care about is maintaining a hierarchy. What they care about is the president wielding unchecked power in the name of defending white America. Because that's all they've wanted. That's all they've really wanted, probably since Barack Obama was elected. A champion to stand up and fight for white America. That lady was ready to flip that table off of the idea that the president could not act the way that he's been acting. And for what? Because the facts are true. Everyone is entitled to due process. And he does not have the right to be conducting business the way he's been conducting business when it comes to these deportations. But that's not the world she wants to live in. That's not the world MAGA wants to live in anymore. They want to live in a world where the law is the law, the Constitution is the Constitution, but it is only applied to people who don't look like them. Once these laws do start applying to them, that ain't gonna work. We're gonna burn it all down.
Because they're not citizens. We do not owe them the same thing.
Wait, okay.
It has to mean something to be an American.
Batia, hold on a second. I get the passion, but I really think it's important to really scrutinize what you just said. The idea that people do not have the right to the processes of the law just because they are not citizens is your opinion, but that is not how the law works. You know that, right?
The president has the right to deport people.
Okay, answer my question. You understand that that is not how the law works, that it is not true that just because your citizenship status does not mean that you do not get the same rights to legal process as everybody else in this country.
Everyone should come here. Everyone should come here.
I think that the country. I'm answering your question. I am answering your very specific question.
Okay.
I think the country right now is very split. In fact, I just saw a poll yesterday from WIC, which was put out by 2A. The country is split almost 50-50 on this exact question. How much due process, how much of our investment and our money and our courts and our time do we owe people who committed a felony as their first act on U.S. soil? The United States of America, the people of this country are currently asking themselves that question every single day.
So what?
Okay. The opinion.
And guess who's winning on it? It's Trump.
I think that
Trump is still beating the Democrats on immigration. So he's winning this argument.
I just want people to understand that your opinion about this, honestly, the opinion of half of the United States about this is totally fine and valid. But the question is, what does the law say about the question? And we do live in a nation of laws, and that has to mean something.
What should it say?
Listen, if you want
the right thing to do?
If you want the law to say something different, you know what the process is? Amend the Constitution.
I think the process is the president.
The law.
The president, in his role as commander-in-chief, is finding an existing law.
Just because they are not citizens is your opinion, but that is not how the law works.
Oh, they're gonna make me real fucking mad real fucking early today, huh? The First Lady's answer, the things that First Lady said literally makes my fucking blood boil. Fucking boil. They are not citizens. Why do we owe them anything, or however she phrased it? They are fucking human beings. Are you telling me as Americans, we don't owe them the decency of due process? What the fuck have we become as a country at that point? What the fuck are we then? She follows that up with, it has to mean something to be an American. Yes, it fucking does. It has to mean something to be an American. It has to mean that we stick up for people's fucking freedoms. That is what this country was founded on. It's what the groundwork for this fucking country was founded on. Yes, it has to mean something to be an American. And that thing is we have to give the people, human beings, the decency to go through the process of the fucking law. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with some of you people? These motherfuckers sit there and go on and on about these people being criminals, about them being illegal, about them being gang members, all this fucking shit. How do we know any of that if they don't get due process? How do we know any of that? The second we start just fucking grabbing people and just deciding that they're this and deciding that they're gang members and deciding that they're criminals is the second that any one of us can be picked up and decided that. Whenever the ruling class, and fucking stop making this about Trump or Biden or anything about that. If we set this precedent as a country, what happens when a guy you don't like gets in charge? Are you going to feel safe then? If we get rid of this thing called due process, what if that person decides you're a fucking criminal? Wouldn't you want your day in court? Wouldn't you want your chance to defend yourself as a fucking human being? Because what are we if we don't give people that? We're Nazi Germany. We're North Korea at that point. Is that the country you want? Is that worth giving up as Americans because you don't like that these people are fucking brown? Is that worth it? You're so fucking willing to give up your rights as an American because some dipshit convinced you that brown people were bad. This thing you didn't give a fuck about 10 years ago, you suddenly care about because this dipshit told you to be afraid of it. What's next then? What's next? Are we gonna start deporting the transgender people because he told you to be afraid of them too and you're not smart enough to understand that? What's next after that? Gay people? Is that the next step? And then they came for me. When is it enough? If the shoe drops on one of us, it'll drop on fucking all of us. How are you people too stupid to understand this? But they continue.
How much due process, how much of our investment and our money and our courts and our time do we owe people who committed a felony as their first act on U.S. soil? The United States of America, the people of this country are currently asking themselves that question every single day.
So what? Okay.
Oh, so that's the difference, huh? That's the big thing. Money, resources, the courts. That's the thing. That's the only thing stopping us from being Nazi Germany, I guess. That's the only fucking thing stopping us. Oh, is it worth giving these people due process because it might cost some money? What the fuck is wrong with you people? What the fuck is wrong with you people that you think that's an okay argument? When did you become so fucking connected in your brain that you think money is an okay reason not to give someone due process? None of us are saying that if these people are criminals, they shouldn't be treated as such. None of us are saying that if these people have convicted felonies, if they have committed felonies, that they shouldn't then serve justice because of that. None of us are saying that. All we are saying is that every living fucking person deserves the right to due process. And if we stop giving the people standing on our soil that due process, we have become Nazi Germany, period.
MAGA, these days talking to you guys makes me truly admire you. You guys have this kind of confidence that comes from never being contaminated by any knowledge.
He's just a very funny man. You have to understand how he operates.
No president, nobody can come in and change things overnight.
I really believe that he's the one God's chosen.
I'm really very optimistic.
I know tariffs Got everybody scared.
Tariffs, they don't scare me at all.
I'm willing, I think, too, to go through a little bit of initial pain.
We have to have some pain to have the gain.
I think that sometimes you have to go through a little bit of the fire to get to the end of the rainbow.
Nobody likes to pay more for anything, I don't, but in the long run, I think it's going to be good.
People are saying, oh, well, prices are going to go way up, we won't be able to do anything. Well, how was the last 4 years? My grocery bills were ridiculous. That was for no reason. This is for a good reason.
Even the great empires he's built in business, I trust that same savvy is going to be helping our country also.
My biggest issue is at the border, and he's killing it.
No open borders. The many millions running across the border. Now, if you look at it, the amount of documented people coming across the border, it's done in a very structured way.
It's just one of those things where you put yourself and you feel the empathy aspect of it, and you feel sort of, when you see a kid being pulled, and you're like, man, is there another way we could have did that?
I'm just thrilled that they are getting rid of the criminals and illegal aliens.
I'm not sure that all of them are real bad criminals, but if you come here illegally, it still makes you a criminal.
I do believe that people are criminals and they're doing the wrong things. They should be taken out of our country. But some of the family stuff, I was wondering some ways we could have handled that a little bit differently.
All right, Trumpers, come and get me. Hey, listen, Pete Hegseth, man, he's up here on the damn stage. He's drinking. This is just bullshit. And we all knew this shit was going to come down the pipeline at some point, okay? Clearly, you saw the same damn shit I did. He's sipping, he's putting it, he's sipping, he's putting it. He couldn't get his fucking words right. He couldn't get enough alcohol in him to sustain him for one damn interview. And at the end of the day, this is how fucked up the government is, because they approved him to take this job knowing he had a fucking alcohol problem. So he didn't even know probably what the fuck he was saying. And Donald Trump knew this too, but he didn't give a shit either, because at the end of the day, it's all about what Donald Trump can control him. It's all about fucking control. Can I control RFJK Jr.? Yes. Can I control Pete Hegseth? Yes. Can I control J.D. Vance? Yes. He wants people he can control so he can keep in power and keep doing the crooked shit he's doing and destroying America. Never would have had that problem under Kamala Harris's administration. Never had that problem under Joe Biden. But when you fucking MAGAs put people in there like that, this is the America you get right here. Your gas price.
Listen, you stupid motherfucking Democrat bastards. We support Pete Hegseth. We, in the Make America Great Again movement, MAGA movement, we're sticking with Hegseth. You're going to get no victory. You're going to get no smear victory by tearing this man down. We will issue an iron fist to you stinking Democrat smear artists. We will rip your goddamn throat out and stomp on it. We'll punch the shit out of your carcass and dump the remains in the fucking river. Pete Hegseth is going to be the Department of Defense head. That's what he's going to be. And there's no way we're going to back down to you motherfucking hated leftist liberal shitheads. We hate you. We hate you passionately. And your death, your destruction, your complete annihilation is a good thing as far as we're concerned. Politically, of course.